The son becomes the father, the father the son. This is all I can send you, Kal-El. It's not who I am underneath that defines me, but what I do. You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts. Just because someone stumbles and loses their path doesn't mean they're lost forever. You're making me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. I let my father die because I trusted him, because he was convinced that I had to wait, that the world was not ready. What do you think? With great power comes great responsibility. We are Groot. We are Groot. We are Groot. We are Groot. We're Groot. We're Groot. We're Groot. I'm with you till the end of the line. Tell me, do you believe? You will. Big man in a suit of armor. Take that off. And what are you? Genius. Billionaire. Playboy. Philanthropist. I am Batman. I could do this all day. Kill any god. None of you seem to understand. I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. You either die.
I like that.
Bit of a raging music to get us all started.
Yeah, I dig that music, man. It was badass.
Yeah, that's a New Zealand Samoan, if I remember right, Samoan heavy metal thrash band, and they've been around for a couple of years, but I think they need to be known more because they're really freaking good.
There's a bunch of stuff coming out of New Zealand, like the Who and all that stuff. The HU, those guys are pretty good.
There was also Alien Weaponry and
Alien Weaponry. Yep.
I think for a small country like ours, we're very creative and we send a lot of stuff into the world. And a lot of people don't realize what comes from here because, you know, usually people move overseas to get fame afterwards once they make it here, you know, and then they move over there and they change. Most of the time as they go, like, you know, welcome to Hollywood, basically. Now we're gonna put up your shop so we can talk about the shop for a bit before we actually get into, you know, into what we're going to talk about.
Sure.
About your journey as an artist, as a writer and creative person with comics and stuff, and, you know, other things that you've been involved in over the years. So this is actually atrocitypress.com.
Yep, that's our website.
Yeah, what's available on the site for those, you know, that have been to it? And
Well,
I mean,
our
also,
news is first. You know, it's always our news stuff. And right now, we're giving away the first 8 pages of Dark America for free, which was what was released in the trade paperback as a kind of a after credits scene, and it basically shows how Hazel, the character who is Dark America, gets her name Dark America, gets her weapons, and gets her costume. So it's got all of our news. It's got all of our links to our social media up there, and of course, it's got our shop. It's got our submissions policy.
Yeah,
it's got everything that you need to communicate with our company, man.
Yeah, so no, it's available on Kickstarter. This is over, right? This one, number 4. And so we're up to about heading to Dark America, which is coming to Kickstarter next.
Yeah, it'll be there in a few days.
Right. I'm going to put the link in the chat for folks so they can actually sub to that, or so they can follow that. And that way, you know, when it comes up, you'll be notified there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like, you've got the free 8-page, get you a bit of introduction to this book. Also, you've got all the, you know, Human Hunters, all the other projects that you're involved in and stuff. I love the art, man. It's like really like the art and the line work's what really gets me about like character design and stuff. You know, like how, you know, the way it moves on the page, and a lot of people don't understand, you know, what we mean by line, but it's actually actual line of the inks, you know, of the design.
Yeah. Well, we've got Fernando Cordero is our art director. He's also the main artist for Mary Machine Gun, but he's our art director, and he's very, very knowledgeable and highly trained on all this stuff. He went to school for many years in Brazil at the Rashundo studio, learning about comics and how to lay them out and how design works and how, you know, drafting and just pencil work and coloring, and he does it all. But he's our art director, so everything goes through him. So he can always make everything look as good as possible.
There we go. I was just looking for this page here. So it's just so because you want your page to be very impactful, right? Like covers or whatever you're putting out, and it is really impactful.
Those are all the different incarnations of Mary there, except for the 2 in the back, which is Ophelia and Charlotte. Then you got the 3 incarnations of Mary. You got her in her nun outfit. You got her in her first combat outfit, and then her second outfit is when she became the Valkyrie. So
is this the which one's which? So
the black one, the black one's the Valkyrie armor, and the white one is her.
All right. So this one and then that one. Yeah. Or is it this? Yeah, because it's trying to see the hair. So she's blonde.
Yeah, she became blonde when she was when she put out, or when she drank the blood of the Valkyrie. She became blonde because all Valkyries are blonde.
Yeah. European custom, right?
Yep.
Viking. That's Norse, isn't it? Is it Norse mythology with Viking?
Yep. The Norse mythology. We use a lot of Norse mythology in the Mary story.
Yeah.
Her father is a Viking. You know, so her mother was too. And then we use a lot of that history and just stuff and kind of make it apply to the world. of today. The next story that we're going to do is Mary Machine Gun Ragnarok, and it's going to be Mary dealing with Ragnarok,
Right.
the end of the world in the Norse mythology.
Yeah. Did you watch that the anime Ragnarok?
No, I've never seen it.
I think it's on I think it's on Netflix, but it's where like let me just bring it up because it's a really cool anime where like basically you got like the humans choose a hero and or a fighter, and then the gods choose a hero or a fighter, basically, and then they go to they go to battle in front of everybody. So this is a trailer for that. Let me see if I can bring it.
Don't get dinged for playing a trailer.
Yeah, it's all right if you later on. This is just a clip that we for us to just go through, but later on we'll probably cut it out and stuff. So it's kind of weird.
3 words, big sister.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like I love mythology and stuff like that. I think it's just it's so rich.
Yeah, I mean, the one we're going to tell is going to be more like the events of Ragnarok actually come to pass. Like there's 2 years of night, and there's earthquakes and floods, and the world serpent comes out, and they had to fight it and everything. Gods go to war.
Right, I just had to turn my volume up because I don't want to. I hate wearing the headphones. So 2 years after, what was it? What is the story of Ragnarok? Because I know it's at world's end. It's like the rapture for I guess for Judeo-Christian
The Norse reality is Ragnarok. It's basically the earth quakes because the great world life tree of life begins to die, and then the gods end up, the Aesir have to go to war with the giants, and that's when they're destined to lose. I mean, everyone's destined to lose. Thor fights the world serpent and dies after taking 9 steps, which is it's actually an allegory for the 9 months out of the year that it's not wintertime. There's just a whole bunch of different things that happen. We're trying to find a way to work them all in through the storyline as we get ready to write it. But there's just a ton of stuff that happens, and there's different tellings of Ragnarok, and we're gonna have to choose one and basically take the major points that we want to use out of it, and it'll be cool. I mean, it'll be super awesome because when you got Mary as the Valkyrie with the blood wings and stuff like that, the book will be fantastic. I can't wait.
Yeah, I just think bringing mythology into comics is such a cool thing, and everybody's going to tell their story a different way, and it's just so interesting. I've thought about how to bring Hinduism into it, and but the way I did it was you just go. I kind of did it like the Hellblazer way, John
Constantine.
Yeah, so you just kind of have them there, but they're not too much too much of an issue to what's going on. But they inject themselves into human lives whenever they feel like it. It's just gods do whatever they want.
Yeah. I don't really know much about Hinduism. I mean, I've studied more Norse mythology because that was what I studied in college.
Right.
Was the
I have no idea
Norse
either.
stuff.
Yeah, I have no idea about Hinduism either because I think I moved over here into New Zealand when I was about 8 years old, 1980s. So that's when you're supposed to actually go to like temple classes and religious
Yeah.
classes, you know. And I'm like, yeah, no, I think, you know, I think I know more about Christianity and actually Judaism than anything else because of that.
Yeah, just because it's the world that we live in, you
Yeah.
know, when you live in the West. But when I was in the Army, one of my they assign you your battle buddy. You sleep with them in the housing units and stuff that you stayed in. He was a Hindu, and
Yeah.
he had all sorts of stuff that we used to talk about all the time. And I mean, I know some things,
Yeah.
but I mean, I don't know a lot, and there's a lot to know. I mean, there's like 14 books in the Vedas.
Yeah. No, but yeah, like my mom used to have like her special place when she first moved here. It was like in the cupboard. That was her cupboard, and she'd put all the statues up and all the photos and all that. You know, the little worship area. And then I think within a year, she was like, "This isn't for me. You know,
Yeah.
this thing isn't for me." And she had a mentor who was, you know, who was a Maori lady, and she'd spend time with her and sort of get mom acclimatized to New Zealand and the way people do stuff here.
Yeah.
You know, introduce her to the culture and, you know, meet new friends, because she was like one of the only ones in that town who was a Indian, basically.
Yeah.
Right. I came along. Came along about 6 months later to, you know, I was on the plane, and then I was here, and there was two of us. But she's decided, you know, like that wasn't, like, she loved the freedom that, like, the, you know, I think for her Christianity offered, not to get rid of all the restrictions that for her Hinduism offered, you know. And so I think she felt really free about that. But then, so that sort of introduced me to, she never imposed any of her beliefs onto me, which is, you know, and so I got to do whatever I wanted, which is quite cool. And, but then I chose my own paths along the way where I wanted to go in and out of different religions. But that's not what we're here for today.
No, it's not. But it's,
I know, no. This is my segue into our interview. So we just, you know, for you guys who are joining in, we just had a, you know, chatted about like the website and stuff and amazing stuff. That the links are in the chat, so you guys can check out what's being offered. Also for the Kickstarter that's coming up, you can actually go to grab the 8-page introduction to Dark America, which is coming to, you know, which is part of Merry Machine Gun, which you can download for free, right? Yep. Nothing better than free, especially in comics. So don't feel like you're like downloading and, you know, you're cheating or something like that. But no, it's
completely free. That's what we did for.
And also follow the link in there, and also to join, you know, the Kickstarter, so you can be kept up to date about that. And this is the Kickstarter. I mean, there's Merry Machine Guns coming up soon, but this one's the last one, and so you can, you know, get to the other products that's out there, as well as, you know, the website as well. So, you know, created 4 but back 9. That's something I'm also going to talk about today.
We've got two different accounts, because we had my personal account when I first started doing Kickstarters a long time ago, and then we switched over to the business account. So, all right.
So what I was thinking was like later on, I wanted to talk about the whole process of Kickstarter as well, for people who don't know that. And also, you know, most of the time we had a discussion the other night on I think it was Kiwis and it was Friday night for us, so it was like Thursday night. It was Kiwis and comic books, and one of the guys brought up how, like, we end up basically, it's artists selling to artists and buying from artists on Kickstarter, but we want to get out of that, you know, to get out into, you know, to a bigger comic book fan audience.
Oh yeah. You always want to expand your audience, you know. I mean, you want to do as best as you can to expand your audience, and we've done things with INCREDI Press. We're published by them in the United States. I mean, so you could probably get them in New Zealand if you ordered them, because it goes through Diamond. I think Diamond ships to New Zealand.
Yeah, you just have to put the you know, be aware of it to put the orders.
Yeah,
which is, I kind of missed out on the whole Niobe one because of that, and because I opted out of comic shops, you know, mainstream comics. but yeah, so
But having the Antarctic Press, it helps get more eyes on our product because there's more people that see it in the comic book shops. I mean, we sold more copies of our books through Antarctic Press than we did through Kickstarter, for sure.
yeah.
So
All right.
hopefully that'll get more eyes on the product, and then we can get that'll kind of transfer into more Kickstarter backers later on when it becomes a new thing.
So let's start with the interview. And I was thinking about like, how did you get into comics, or how did how young were you when you got into arts? The very beginnings.
When I was 8 years old, there was a box of books. They were sci-fi books in my basement, and there was all a bunch of man, what was the guy's name? He wrote I, Robot. What the hell's his name?
Asimov.
Asimov. Yeah, Isaac Asimov. There was a bunch of Asimov books and a bunch of Ray Bradbury books and a bunch of Dick books and Philip K. Dick and all that stuff. So I was reading those as when I was young because I didn't have anything else to do. And then eventually the books ran out, and underneath all these books were a whole bunch of Vampirella magazines.
Oh, wow.
So these are all my dad's old books and stuff. So I started reading these Vampirella books, and that was like my porn,
Right.
I'm 8 years old, and there's this girl that's half naked running around doing stuff. So I'm like, hey, this is good stuff. And then after that, it pretty much just kind of I got hooked on stuff like Pit and Spawn and things like that as I got a little older. And I would be able to just ride my bike to the grocery store, and they had the newsstand there where you could buy all the comic books and stuff off the newsstand. And that's how I bought my comic books for the longest time before I discovered this wonderful thing called the local comic shop.
Yeah.
And then went into those, and that was it. Because as soon as I got in there, I started finding all the bad girl comics like Samaree and Evangeline and all those different, Witchblade and all the different bad girl books that were coming out. She, Lady Death, and then that was it for me.
So did you start drawing or did you start writing first?
I don't draw. I'm a terrible artist. I cannot draw. I don't even try to fool myself into thinking that I can sketch things. I'm a writer. I've always been a writer. Ever since I was in high school, I was just good at it. I don't know. I mean, like we do different writing assignments, and I would always bang mine out like the night before it was due.
Yeah.
And there was no first draft, no second draft, no any of that. It was just writing the paper. And I'd always ace the pages or the assignments. And as soon as I got into college and the military, and I did all the writing and stuff for that, and I was just good at it. And people kept telling me I was good at it and I should actually write some stuff. So when I got out of the Army and everything, I just did my normal stuff. And then once I got my wife at the time, who's my ex-wife now, through her school, I opened up Atrocity Press to put my comic books out.
So when were you in the military?
2003 to 2009. Now,
I know people say like write what you know, right? Have you ever written anything to do with military soldiering, that sort of situations? Or
I wrote a book or a movie called 4-Man Cream,
right?
And it was about a 4-man team that was in Iraq, and then they ended up coming back from Iraq, and their lives kind of fell apart because they were just veterans lost in the system, and one of them gets killed. They end up going to get revenge on the guy who killed him, but they found out he's a drug dealer, and they rob him after they kill him, and then they start robbing all these drug dealers and stuff like that, and using their military tactics and training to do all this. But eventually, it all falls apart, and it just goes into like anything that could go wrong does go wrong. It ends up being a bad situation for everybody. And I've been thinking about converting that into a comic book, but I don't know how well it would be received, especially from Atrocity Press, because we do bad girl books. We don't do
Hmm.
drama, you know.
But I think there is that whole, I mean, there's so many genres. Like if you get keyholed into a genre, yet you have other stories, I mean, sure, it's people like who collect like who are into GI Joe, right?
Yeah.
Like former military people, people who grew up on the toys. I mean, I've got like about 4 friends I know off the top of my head, right, who are GI Joe fans who I've
Yep.
met from, and they're all like friends. They grew up as friends in Texas, so I know they would be into it because
Yeah, I think a
there
lot
are,
of people might. I mean, it might get picked up, and people would, in the zeitgeist of the world, and people could actually see it and actually dig it,
yeah,
and pick it up and say, hey, this is written by an actual military veteran who was in war.
yeah,
But I mean, to be honest with you, I don't. The whole veteran card isn't something that I play very often. I just kind of, people ask me about it, and I'll tell them. I'm not going to say I wasn't in the
yeah,
military or anything,
yeah,
but I mean, I don't say veteran owned or anything like that, because
yeah.
I don't want people to buy books from me because I'm a veteran. I want people to buy books from me because the books are good.
Exactly. You don't want it for the tokenism of it all, right?
Yeah.
And because I remember, like, because for us in New Zealand we have the our elite, like that. You guys have like the Green Beret. They're the elite, right?
Yeah.
For us, we have the SAS, which is part of the wing from like the UK SAS.
Yeah.
And I because I was writing a story. I mean, one of my characters called Red Dot a couple of years back, and I was like thinking like I need to put him into like give him a good background, soldiering background. So I went and did like I watched a 3-hour documentary on how they trained.
Yeah. I mean,
How they trained.
do whatever you can to learn the information you need,
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, and then I'm like, there's what we have here is like, I think it's return service. I think veteran services in America, but we have here RSA, which is Return Services Association.
Mhm.
So they can be military, they can be like Navy, they can also be firemen, police. Like it's like where people just that sort of camaraderie. But and I was like I'll join them and we'll learn from them and learn about what's what. So when I actually write the story, especially if I'm writing about the military thing, I'd know more about it rather than just like putting things in that don't make sense.
Yeah.
So you came out around about 2000, and what was the first thing that you wrote that
For Atrocity Press, or just
yeah,
in general?
because I
Yeah.
mean, what was the deal about setting up Atrocity Press? Like, why did you think do comics rather than just go into writing for film? Because four-man
I
team, you're just on that.
I had written for film, and I actually I used to make short films. And then one of my problems was coming up, like I would hire people to be in parts or to be in positions and everything, and I'm actually paying these people to show up, and they still weren't showing up to the set,
Right.
So I got frustrated with working in the whole film industry, and just the people didn't seem to be, really wanting to do what they said they wanted to do. They just kind of wanted to live that lifestyle instead of actually doing the work. And then I decided, I was like, well, what's another way I could tell stories? I'm like, well, I could write prose books or I could do comics. And I'm like, I like
Right.
comics. So I liked comics from the time I was a kid. So
Yeah.
I started working on telling stories visually, because that's how I want to tell stories, is visually.
Yeah.
And we did. I mean, we wrote Mary Machine Gun in 2018, and then it was a 44-page book, 46-page book, and it took us a while to get it all drawn and everything, because we were working. Fernando was new at doing all the stuff, and I was new at doing what I was doing, and we were working our way through everything, and we made some mistakes here and there, and it took some time to get it all done. But we got it completed. We ran the Kickstarter, and it was successful, highly successful actually for our first Kickstarter. It was not
Right.
bad, and we kept on going with that.
What was the feedback like on Mary Machine Gun? You know, because it's a double book, right? Because usually it's
Yeah.
about 20 pages, and now you got like, was it a standalone story or?
Mary Machine Gun, the first it was gonna be 3 issues.
Right.
And we had written up to 2, and that's when I realized that we had too much story to tell. We had to do 4.
Right.
And these books, the first 4 Mary Machine Gun books are not small. They're all, it's like one's 44 pages, another one's 38 pages, another one's 46 pages, and then another one's 48 pages. So they were thick books. They told a lot of story, and it was super fun, and people really dug it. So we were happy with the success of Mary Machine Gun.
Were they put out as floppies or square bound? I
They
mean,
were
being
put
at
out
40 pages.
as floppies.
Right. Now, each one, were they like a self-contained story, or were they like, you know, continuous into like 2 and 3?
No, I mean it was the first 4 issues of Mary Machine Gun it's all one story. So when you get the trade paperback, we just put them all together, and it makes one big long graphic novel.
It's almost like a maxi series, isn't it? With like about 8 issues, if you really think about it.
Yeah, I mean, it
That's
ended up
pretty
being 156 pages of content for Mary Machine Gun, the books, and then we did the 8 pages for Dark America, and then we did 40 pinups that we put in the back of the book
Right.
for the trade paperback. And we've got 2 different versions of the trade paperback. We've got the Safe for Work trade paperback.
Yeah.
And we've got the Not Safe for Work trade paperback, where all the nudities is still intact.
Oh, so you put 2 versions out. So like your interior art is also safe for work as well as the cover.
Yeah. The
That's
interior
pretty
art, the nudity has been covered up in the Safe for Work version.
Right. So you basically put on clothes on, you know, over the nipples and stuff like that.
Yeah, because when we were first getting with Antarctic Press, they were like, "Oh, we don't want to do nudity." We're
Right.
like, "Okay, we'll patch the nudity." So we patched the nudity in the books for them, and then they still printed it when they printed a bunch of nudity. So
Yeah.
it was like we had all this extra pages, and we're like, "Well, let's just go ahead and put out a Safe for Work version in case people just want that." You know?
Yeah. Yeah,
That
it's
way
quite
they could take it to work and read it.
yeah, it's quite an interesting concept because, like, I mean, not it's like, you know, a lot. You kind of think, oh, well, they're censoring themselves, and why are they doing that? It's like, but like, you're the creators of it, and you're putting it out so that more people can read it wherever they want to read it in public, right? But
Yeah.
if you want the version, if you like live by yourself and you don't mind it, you know, that then you have that one, or you can have both because you can then buy one and give one away. You know, the safe for work version away, and that actually brings you in with new customers as well, and that's pretty good.
Yeah,
Wholesome way of
I
doing
mean,
that.
there's a lot of nudity in the later books of Mary Machine Gun. Like Mary's never nude.
Yeah.
But other characters are.
Yeah.
And it's just fun, kitschy stuff, you know. I mean, it's just it's a good story, it's good action, and we got nudity in it. You know, it just makes it rated R. I mean, there's all of our books are rated R except for Lady Blasphemy, which comes out in May.
Okay.
And that's going to be our first adult only book.
Right. So why? Well, I mean, like you mentioned that, like, Mary Machine Gun isn't ever nude. Why is that? Is that because she's your main title character, or is it just the way you decided not to? You know?
We haven't made her nude yet because when we do, it'll be a big deal.
Right.
You know, the other characters are nude in certain places. In the Dark America book, you see the tops of Mary's nipples in one scene or one panel. That's as close as anyone's ever gotten so far.
Yeah.
So we're just teasing it. You know, we're just having a good time.
Yeah. but you're also building up like expectation, like, you know, like it's kind of like when they do like movies, right? They can like either at 20 minutes in they slam you with like some nudity, so you stay and watch the rest of it, or you
Yep.
know, or they leave it till later because it's a good story, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it's really how you want to tell the story, and I think, you know, you built a I guess, you know, a reader base who is interested in the character and who supported the character. And so when it gets, you know, when the delivery is finally there, you know, it's at the right story at the right time, I guess. So what was the second story that you wrote as, you know, as part of Atrocity Press?
Let's see. The second book we've written was Human Hunters. I actually brought Johnny Reed on in 2019. I brought him
Right.
on as well, first off, he was an editor on Mary Machine Gun 2.
Right.
And then we started writing together on Mary Machine Gun 3 and 4. And then I was like, "Do you have any ideas for comic books?" And he's like, "Fuck yeah, I got ideas for comic books." And he pitched Human Hunters, which is the famous monsters, basically fighting the most evil people in the world. So it's interesting. It's fun. The first issue's them getting uh, a priceless vase back from that was stolen during World War II, and that just kind of
Right.
introduces the characters. It's a very high paced, fast paced action comic book where they're doing this heist.
Right.
And then the second book, you find out that this drug lord's daughter has been kidnapped by sex traffickers, and they've got to go try to get her back. And that's where the next big storyline comes in. And that's where we're at now. Where we just finished the Kickstarter for issue 4 of Human Hunters, and that'll be going to the printer here probably in about a month or so. And then we'll get that fulfilled. We'll get Mary Machine Gun Dark America fulfilled, and we've just got books just lined up, and we've got books ready to go.
Yeah.
You know, we're just waiting to run the Kickstarters now because the books are in the can. They're just 100% ready.
Right. So you mentioned you're co-writing. What's it like co-writing a comic book? Because, you know,
We work really well together.
Right.
Basically, all we do is just we sit in an off air in StreamYards, you know, and
Yeah.
I pull up the share screen, I pull up the the Word document, and the first things we do is we write an outline. You know, like
Right.
these are the things that need to happen
Okay.
in this book. And then we go through and start taking that outline and turning it into panel pages, you know, and here's how those get done. And then as we're writing, we work really well together. I mean, we finish each other's sentences. We know we're always like right on sync with each other. If somebody's got a better idea, we throw it out there and you use it. And then we take about 2 weeks after that and just kind of put it in the back burner and don't look at it. And then we come back 2 weeks later and just read through it again and say, okay, this sounds stupid. Let's do this. Let's change this around. And then we fix all the stuff in it, and then we're done. And that's the script.
It's pretty cool. I mean, like it's got like I kind of think about like co-writing the old days where you have to send pages away or you know, phone and everything. Now you can just be on screen and show everybody the work right there and that, and then you can change it right there. And it's such a amazing time because that, you know, you're sitting across the, you know, where does he live? I mean, like what state?
He lives in Kansas City with me. He's actually only only like 7 minutes away from my house.
Right.
But it's just easier for us because we first started writing during the COVID lockdowns. So it was easier for us because that's just how we've always done it. It's just through StreamYards because of the COVID lockdowns. And it was just easy to connect through StreamYards and do it that way. And then we've just kind of stuck with that for the whole time. I mean, we could sit in the same room and write if we really needed to, but we don't need to.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
plus, the other thing is you got to grab all your stuff and take it up over there, or the other way.
oh
Vice
yeah.
versa.
And I mean, we wake up, you know, when I was younger, I used to stay up really late just so I could work because no one would mess with me because it'd be dark and late outside and everyone's asleep.
Yeah.
But I kind of, as I grow older, now I wake up earlier. So
Yeah.
I'll get up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and work from then on it because it's the same. Nobody's awake, so no one's messing with me type thing.
Yeah.
But it's a little more. It's different. I don't know if I would say it was more responsible or not, but it's not just staying up late anymore. It's actually getting up at a specific time to do something intentional.
Yeah. Now, when you started Atrocity Press, how did you like? I mean, you wrote the script, or did you get an artist first and then write the script? What was the process there?
I wrote the script first.
Right.
I wrote all the scripts, or I wrote the script for Mary Machine Gun 1, and then I found an artist and a colorist. Fernando was the colorist, and the artist was John Apple. And John Apple did some concept drawings for me for Mary, and then Fernando did some concept drawings based off of John's concept artist, and so then I just hired Fernando to do the artwork
Yeah.
and the colors for the book. It worked out really well. His artwork was fantastic. It told the story exactly how we needed to tell it. You know, you could tell. I mean, if you look at the book, you can tell that he got better as the book went along, because the art style changes from the beginning to the middle to the end of the book. But I mean, it was the first one we'd ever done. So I mean, it's gonna happen that way, you know.
Right. So is it just your two artists, the colorist and you know the
we've got Fernando on staff. We've got Fran Cordiero, which is Fernando's brother. We've got Carol Cordiero, which is Fernando's wife. She does a bunch of our flats and stuff like that.
right.
We've got Mateus Duarte, who's the artist for Ninja Bimbos versus Zombies from Deep Space. And he does Human Hunters also. And then we've got Adam Ramos, who is one of our colorists. So we've got two teams that we got working on different books at the same time. And then in May, we're supposed to pick up Fabio Someo to do a book called Native that Johnny's going to write. Well, we'll write it together, but it's his idea.
Yeah. Now, so this is like what, like about 6 years in with Atrocity Press?
Yeah, we've been doing this for about 6 years now.
How did you go about the actual business side of setting up Atrocity Press?
Well, me and Johnny got together, and then once he came in, you know, it was like he had to buy into the company. So we created a contract of him buying into the company, and then we LLC'd the whole thing, and we put us as the LLC holders. And then we created the business documents and everything that needed to be done, filed all of our stuff with the IRS, and got our TIN number and everything that needed to be done to buy things. And I mean, me and Johnny have both done businesses before. He runs a comic shop, and I used to do websites and video editing and stuff like that for people for 20 years. So we both have started LLCs before, so it was no big deal really. We all knew what we were doing. Got the LLC going, and then just started taking off from there, just following the doing the Kickstarters and making the books, man.
So how did you get get involved with Antarctic Press to like that, not safe for work, safe for work books?
Antarctic Press, that was pretty cool. Just being on the Niobe show with Larry. we had gotten to have Ben Dunn on, and Ben Dunn's the founder of Antarctic Press.
Hmm.
So he came on one day, and then he started coming on more often. You know, he dropped by. He was pretty regular guest for a while there, and then we kind of started showing him what we had, and thought,
Yeah.
you know, would Antarctic Press maybe be interested in something like this?
Mm.
And he's just like, hell yeah, send it in. So we sent it in. They agreed to publish it, and then we went through the contract, got that signed, and then gave him all the documents and the PDFs of the books, and then they did their thing, and they ended up in stores a few months later.
What was it like to have your books right up there with like others, I guess a mainstream or I guess the big five?
That was super cool because I mean it gave us space on the rack right next to Batman.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so people that were coming into the store were seeing our comic, and our comics covers are very flashy. They're very good, and they definitely draw the eye. And we sold a lot of comic books, so it was really nice to be just at the dance, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
You know, just to be able to be there and sell some
Yeah.
stuff. That was awesome. I was impressed with it.
It's probably like joining the cool kids kind of thing, right?
Yeah,
You're
pretty
invited
much.
to the party, finally.
I mean, you've been published. You're in shops. It's always been a dream of mine to be in shops. You know, because that was where I grew up buying comic books, was in shops. You know, so I mean, if there was no shops, I would have dreamed to be on the newsstand. You know,
Yeah.
so I mean, but the shops is where I wanted to be, and we got in there, and we did really well for and sales wise for Antarctic Press, because they're not carried by everybody. I mean, it's still an independent publisher. They're not as big as like Image or Marvel or DC.
Yeah.
But we did really well sales wise with our work with Mary Machine Gun, and we'll be bringing Dark America to them. We're going to submit Human Hunters as soon as the 5th book is done, because with Antarctic Press, you have to have all of it done before you can submit it to them, because they want to make sure that you're going to finish it. They don't want to start publishing something and then you get mad at your artist and it all falls apart, and they don't have anything to finish the story with.
Or late books, or canceled books. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the relationship been like in the shops? Like, because you've already got a friend who's actually has a comic shop, but have you been to other comic shops and seen your books there? And have you talked to other,
Yeah, we went to a shop that's in Harrisonville, and we were asking if they carried any Antarctic Press books, and they actually said the only Antarctic book press book we carry is Mary Machine Gun. And I was like, yes.
Did you offer to sign some? It's like for the store and go, hey, I can sign one. You can have one here or whatever.
No, I mean, I was like, you guys, I'm like, I wrote that book. And they're like, oh, really? And then Johnny said that he had written the book too, but he wasn't, like, Antarctic Press kind of messed up and didn't put his information on the credits page. So they're like, yeah, whatever. And I was like, no, seriously, it's all good.
Yeah. So with the sort of like these having like Johnny's comic shop and stuff, do you guys do events at the comic shop?
We've done we've done a few small conventions around here. This summer we're planning on, we don't know if it's going to happen or not, but we're planning on doing a lot of the Fan Expo shows. So there's one in like Chicago and Dallas and Denver, and a few other cities that we're gonna look at this summer.
Right.
But other than that, that's we haven't really done many shows yet because we were working on getting product. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't want to just show up and be like there with one book.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I wanted to come in and we're a publishing company, so I wanted to come
Yeah.
in with product and say here's what we do.
So part of that product range, you know, apart from the comics and variant covers, what is part? You know, what do you guys put out?
We put out comics and then the all the variants, and then we've got a calendar that we do every year. That's
Right.
pretty popular. We do a lot of prints. Um, just same thing that everybody the standard stuff that's out there everywhere. You know, we do prints, we do comics, we do variant covers, we do all the uh different things. I mean, I wouldn't call them gimmicks because I mean
Yeah.
we've done metal cover before. When we had Ed Benez do a cover for us, we made that a metal cover. We don't. I think I might have done a foil or two, but
Yeah.
we don't typically do that much of the metal stuff or the foil books or anything like
Right.
that. We usually just stick to cover A, variants, and then our nudie covers.
Right. Now, have you like, you know, you said you're getting ready, getting product ready to take that to events. At any events that you've been to, have you? What's it been like having like mature content there like that at the event?
You know, it's a little different because we have to be careful about what we're showing, you know. So we don't want to show any nudity on our prints because we do have nude prints.
Hmm.
But we don't want to show any of the nudity on our prints. Um, we don't want to because you know it's just we don't want to cause problems with the convention or the show that you're at,
Yeah.
and you don't want people to come up there and be like, "My kids can see that. What's wrong with you?" type of thing.
Yeah.
So we had it set up to where it was like if you wanted to look in the long box, you could look in the long box and see all the nudie stuff, or you know, and it was kind of like you could tell if they were old enough to take a peek. Um, but we did have that's why we did like our safe for work book, so we could still sell our story to a younger audience. I mean, the cussing and stuff is still there. That's we didn't change the writing at all. We just covered up some nudity for a publisher that didn't use it.
Because you're being safe with that at events, has you haven't had any you know, any issues rise because of it being, you know, at events?
No,
Like,
we've never had any blowback on anything that we've ever done,
awesome.
and that I mean, we haven't had like the your objectifying women crowd hasn't come out. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, none of that has happened to us, and I don't know if it's just because we obviously don't care,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
if they just don't care anymore. But I mean,
Yeah.
we obviously don't care. We're going to put out, you know, our books. Then they're mature themed. They're R rated.
Yeah.
That's what we do. You know, I mean,
Mm.
we don't put out young adult stuff. We don't put out all ages stuff. We cater towards adult readers because
Right.
those are the stories that I want to write.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's always going to be like a not a Nan or Karen out there, you know, supposedly, who's going to complain. But I mean, that's why I was wondering, like, if anybody has, because I remember talking to a female comic creator in Aussie, and she had
Mhm.
some backlash, you know, at her event, and she's like, "I'm the creator of this thing. Like, I am
Yeah,
the creator of this thing,
yeah.
right?
I mean,
Look, me, female,
we
me,
we
right?
have a lot of female artists,
Yeah,
like, and they do some of the sexiest covers that we've got. Like Mariah Benez, she
yeah,
knocks it out of the park every time. And I mean, if people want to say that Mariah Benez is objectifying women, they can suck it
yeah,
because she is a woman, and she knows what she's doing, and she knows how to draw sexy women, and she does it really well. Um, and it's not objectifying women; it's celebrating women, really.
Yeah. I mean, like we get some amazing, like I mean, I've just watched Aquaman, right? He's walking around with no shirt on, like
Yeah,
not 80% of the movie, and nobody cares because
Mm.
they actually went to see him with no shirt on,
yeah,
right? All the
exactly.
females went to see him, and like if it's fine for Aquaman, then why can't it be fine for
Yeah,
for
my
whoever
machine
else?
gun.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's weird how people have nitpick at certain things because it's that gets them. But like you can see people like in movies getting torn apart and stuff, and it's PG,
Oh
right?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
there's in the West, it's really weird how
Mm.
we're so scared of nudity and sex, but
yeah,
violence, that's fine. You can have
yeah,
you getting torn apart by hooks on Hellraiser, and that's cool. But you see
yeah,
some titties, oh my god.
yeah, yeah.
Circle the
Or getting
wagons.
or getting blown away by friggin' bullets and so on, and even like the whole idea, like with like TV shows with the cop dramas and stuff like SVU and Law and
Mhm.
Order and or CSI. That was just rated like PG or something at some point, and you're like, they're cutting up people, they're showing up all this violence, and yet they're like, and then
It's
you're
all
like,
good.
no, we can't have nudity, like we
Yeah.
can't show topless females, but we
Yeah.
can show them getting chopped up. But no, we can't show them topless. Yeah,
When I was in Germany, it was really odd because the TV had just nudity. It didn't matter. They didn't care. And then
Mm,
there was a commercial I was watching, and the commercial was like these people and they were having sex, right?
mm.
And it just keeps showing different angles of them sleeping with each other. And as the angles go by, it's like the guy's looking at his watch, the girl's looking at her watch. They're kind of like, when's this going to be over with type of thing. And it
Yeah,
ends up being a watch commercial,
yeah,
and I'm like, what the hell?
yeah,
This wouldn't fly in the United States at all.
yeah,
But
yeah. It's weird.
it
It's
was pretty
just like,
wild.
yeah. I mean, like even the
That-
French, right? Like you can drink like alcohol and like basically wine it as kids or whatever, and then now over here you got all these restrictions.
yeah,
I wonder,
21 drink and all that shit.
yeah, I wonder if it's just the culture. It's a cultural thing where we feel like sex and nudity is a taboo. Whereas violence and that sort of stuff is okay.
Yeah, I think it's cultural and it's kind of based off of a religious aspect too. I mean, I don't want to bring
Mm,
up the religion thing again, but I
yeah,
think it's a religious aspect because in the West, a lot of them are Christians
yeah,
or Islamic,
yeah,
So and they're very those Abrahamic religions are pretty sex negative,
yeah.
but they're all prone to violence.
Pretty
I mean,
much.
The Old Testament's just like, go kill those people. They're not part of your group.
Yeah,
you
pretty
know?
much.
So um violence has always been something that we've dealt with and as people, and I think it's
Mm,
something that we're okay with, but sex has always been kind of a taboo subject.
mm,
And it's as time goes by, things will change. I
yeah,
mean, it's always gonna do that. I mean, Europe is more of a there's a lot more atheist stuff in Europe than there is in the United States.
yeah,
But see where that is in 20 years. I don't know. It could be there. We usually catch up a little bit with Europe every so often, with their just general cultural ideas of things.
yeah,
Um, it usually happens slowly here in the United States. It's like kind of like, it's like if you look at Japan, they're like the United States 20 years ago. They're listening to like 80s music
mm,
and watching 80s cartoons and 80s television shows and all that stuff. And you're just like, man, this is old stuff. Why are you guys all into this shit? And then that's just where they're at. You know, I mean, you look at Brazil and they're watching stuff from 15 years ago. You know, I mean, they're a little more closer to us because they've got more. They got Netflix and things like that now, so
Yeah.
they can watch the same shows that we do
Mm.
when we do. So it's just different. I mean, things have changed drastically. Digitalization of everything, of just all media,
Mm.
has changed the game for everybody. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, anybody can do a movie or a comic book or make an album in their bedroom with the equipment that's available nowadays, and it's just totally incredible. Digital artwork has changed the game because you no longer have to do everything on 11 by 17 and FedEx it to you to the next guy
Yeah.
who may screw it up, and then you got to start over again. And, you know, and it's just if you mess up, you just hit Control Z.
Yeah. Yeah. Or copy paste, copy paste, copy paste until you like the one that you got, and then you
Exactly.
that's the one we wanted. Yeah. So talking about comics, how do you come up with the ideas with all the characters for the stories that you guys write?
Well, let's see. Mary Machine Gun came from a role playing game.
Okay.
I started her as she was a Marvel game, the original Marvel role playing game. I can't remember what it's called, but that's what it originally was in. And then she was in something of Heroes, and then we used her in GURPS. And she was just always a character that I just kept in my back pocket to play whenever I just wanted to make something simple because she used a sword and a machine gun, you know. And then we wrote Mary Machine Gun issues 1 through 4 and added a lot to her story because, you know, I mean, she was just a generic character that was used in a role playing game. But
Yeah.
I figured that there's much more story we could tell with Mary. So we told us a story with her, and now we've got another story coming along with this Dark America storyline that we've got coming up for this year. It introduces the character Dark America, and then Mary takes a very center stage position in books 2 and 3. The first Dark America book is mainly Dark America because it's introducing the Dark America character. You know, and it's only 24 pages or 26 pages, or at least 26 pages of story. And we do what we can. And then Mary shows up at the end, and then the next 2 books will be Mary and Dark America dealing with these succubi, you know, and we had to show that Dark America was out of her element because she's more of a street level Punisher for the Lord type character. You know,
Right.
she goes around. She goes around. If you're a sinner, she'll kill you. Basically, her tagline's "One less sinner." You know.
So tell us a bit of for people who don't know the like without spoiling, right?
Yeah.
A bit about Mary Machine Gun and like I mean, Punisher for God, but you know, what's her like background and
Well, Mary is she was born in like 16 something. I don't remember exactly when she was born. We've got it written down somewhere. And then she was parentless. She was an orphan, so she got picked up by the church. She was very athletic and impressive, so they sent her off to be trained by the Templar Order. And when she was 18, and the Templar Order trains these people for 100 years. It takes 100 years to be trained to be in this Templar Order. But in order to live that long, you have to drink from this fountain, which is called the Amaranthian Pool, and it's like the tree of life, the root of the tree of life just barely touches this pool.
Right.
So it allows you to live for a very long time if you drink
That's
this
pretty
water.
cool. Yeah.
So they drink the water, and it basically it's like for every 10 years they age 1 year, or maybe it might be even worse than that. It might be every 100 years they age 1 year. I don't remember exactly the math we did with it, but we made it to where Mary was like 23.
Right.
You know, because that way she's an adult.
Yeah, that's what I was
Um,
thinking. It's just above that over 20, so nobody can have a
yeah,
problem and go, oh, those
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And then let's see, she ends up having to she's tracking a vampire at the very beginning of Mary Machine Gun #1, and she hunts him down. And then after she kills him, she gets reassigned to take care of these werewolves in Kentucky. And she shows up and finds out that the guy who's the cardinal that runs the church in the area, he's a total sexual deviant sleazebag. He's super powerful because he's going to be the next pope. He just does whatever he wants. He's a total terrible person. But and then there's disorder in the church. There's disorder in Mary's order. There's disorder in the town. I mean, everything that's an organization has been tainted. So she's not really an anti-hero. She's a hero and stuck in a world that is inhabited by bad things.
Right.
You know, so she has to figure out how to navigate her way through these bad organizations while trying to still complete her mission of slaying this whole werewolf pack that's that's causing problems in this town. And we jump back in the past and jump forward in the future, and Mary ends up. I mean, spoiler, I guess, in book 2 she dies. Mary gets killed in book 2, but she has to die in order to become a Valkyrie.
Right.
Because she dies, the Valkyrie comes down to take her away, and then she's like, "I'm not going to take you anywhere. I'm going to actually train you because you're the best chance that we have." And Odin sees that, so we're going to bring you back to life and let you. We're going to train you to fight this evil inside of your own organization. And so that's what she does. She ends up training with the Valkyrie and goes to war with her own order in book 4.
I was just gonna bring up this. Which one? I got the wrong one here. So you've got there's a teaser, you've got a short teaser on YouTube. I'm just gonna play here for that, so that people actually get to see for this trade paperback, because
it's super cool. Because it's super cool.
Yeah. Where did you run off to?
Yeah, this is one of the things I used to do was make short videos and commercial stuff for the local stations here in Kansas City. So that's why I've got what I've got there.
It's very good and high quality. I mean, that's it's really well done, and I can see, like you said, you've got background in editing and stuff. So how long did you do that sort of work as well? With editing?
The editing work and stuff. I did website design and video editing and just video work, like making short films and stuff like that. I did that for 20 years.
Right.
As Zaffin Entertainment, and it was about 2016, because I started in 96.
Right.
It was 2016. I just decided I'm done. I'm not doing
Yeah.
video editing. I'm not doing movie stuff. I'm not doing websites anymore. I have retired. And then 2 years later, I got the bug up my ass to be creative again, and that's when I got into comic books, as I said before, telling visual stories, without having to deal with the film community that didn't want to show up when they were being paid. So yeah, we started doing that. It worked out really well. I mean, everything's taken off. I mean, it takes 5 or 6 years to really ingrain yourself in the whole marketplace, and we've lasted for 6 years now, so we're doing well. I'm excited about what we've got coming up. I mean, 2024 is going to be a huge year for us.
Yeah.
And we've just got ready. I mean, we've got many books ready to go. We've got Love and Madness, which is a book that was written by Carol Cordiero, which is Fernando's wife. And it's kind of like a mixture between I Spit on Your Grave, Thelma and Louise, and Natural Born Killers.
Right.
We've got Human Hunters 5 coming out in March. We've got a Ninja Bimbos versus Zombies from Deep Space 4 coming out in April. Lady Blasphemy comes out in May. Mary Machine Gun Dark America #2 or issue 6. It'll be out in there's Love and Madness right there.
So is Fern the artist on this, and it's like she's related to Carol?
Yeah, they're husband and wife.
Right.
So I mean, the only thing me and Johnny did on this book is we translated the Portuguese to English.
Okay.
So this will be the first book that we have had really nothing to do with. It was the first book we're publishing, just publishing. Aside from translating the Portuguese, but that's no big deal. Anybody can do that.
So I didn't notice this, but we just talked about Fern's book and Carol's book. Did you actually have a submission policy as well?
Yeah, we've had a submission policy ever since the beginning of Atrocity Press. Obviously, Carol had a little easier route to get in there because we've already been working together.
Yeah.
So she just kind of said, "Here's what I've got an idea to do," and I was like, "Well, go for it. We'll see what happens."
So there's a whole lot of work. I mean, how many books in total have you guys put out?
Right now, we've put out 12 books, and by the end of this year, we'll probably have 20.
Right. So you've got your Mary Machine trade paperbacks, floppies, and also I see you run specials as well. Yep. So I mean, there's no reason why people shouldn't be, picking up these books because they're not that dear. Now your prints, your digitals are like, $5-10. With the Reloaded, is that like a floppy or is that like
Mary Machine Gun Reloaded was okay. The first time we released Mary Machine Gun, there was a lettering error and it was bad. It was real bad. So we had the whole book relettered by SK and we released the book as Mary Machine Gun Reloaded because it was just that bad. But it was the first book we'd ever released. We were learning, and it just kind of slipped through the cracks. It wasn't that bad, but there was like there was duplicate text on 2 different pages that didn't make any sense, and then there was like the lettering was small and hard to read. So we just had SK come in and do the lettering because that guy SK is on point. One of the Australian superstar boy.
Yeah, he dragged me into this. So, but I was wondering, tell us a bit about the Ninja Bimbos, this one we got on screen here.
Yeah, Ninja Bimbos versus Zombies from Deep Space. the title came about from me and my buddies hanging out, drinking beer, and coming up with the cheesiest B movie titles we could come up with, and that's what I came up with. Originally, it was actually Teenage Ninja Bimbos versus Zombies from Deep Space.
Yeah.
But once again, we didn't want to worry about the teenage thing, so we we dropped the teenage from it, and started telling a story. It's very Night of the Comet. It's our B movie comic book. It's very tongue in cheek and just fun. It's about 4 different strippers who survive the apocalypse, where these meteors come and hit New York City and release this green gas that kills off most of the population and turns the rest of them into zombies. They survive, try to make it through the city. There's some different hijinks ensue when they're fighting zombies before they know what they're doing. They run into a ninja master who's out in the streets killing zombies, and she takes them under their wing and she trains them to be ninja fighters themselves, and then they go out to take on these the zombie hordes in the apocalypse. It's a super fun book.
Yeah. So you've got about 2 issues out already. How big are each issue?
Ninja Bimbos, I believe, are 28 pages and 32 pages on the issue 1 and 2. We've got 3 that's out. We just don't have it up on the website yet. Right. We're working on getting all of our digitals up there, and then we've got a bunch of physicals. We've got to get these Kickstarters out the door and then count how many we've got so we can know how many to put on the website.
Right. Yeah. Now, I saw one more here, which is different. This one here. So tell us a bit about the Neo Tokyo.
That book, I wrote the story, the concept for the story, and then Josh Hadley wrote the script, and Mateus Duarte did the art for it. It's a cyberpunk book. It's told in a different style than most, because there's one page that's the media page, and then 1 page of story, and then the next media page kind of goes over what the story beat was, what just happened, and it's there's the media, the actual news media, and then there's people that are streamers that are talking about the things that are happening in the story. And it was a pretty fun book. We just it didn't sell very well, so we haven't made a second book yet, but I was actually looking into revamping the storyline and re-releasing the books.
Right.
But that was the main story was about this kid named his street name is Virus. Yeah. And he had broken into this medical company's network, and then there was just the men in black all came down and killed his family when he wasn't home because they were looking for him, and he ended up having to run from the government, from the corporations. He had no friends except for the 2 that he knew, and he went back and got them to help him, and then that was about as far as the story went.
Awesome. So finishing up here, Max.
Yeah.
Usually at the end of this, we do a 3 to 5 minutes, words of wisdom thing that you've learned, that you can, for the young viewers or later on. Yeah. For was it antiquity that's left there? Say this is, here's some information that I've learned and stuff. Now, before that, I'm just gonna put up Pete's post here. He goes, I love Neo Tokyo. I have all the covers. One. Was it Matia's first book? Because his work now in Human Hunters is effing incredible.
Yeah. That was Mateus's first book that he's ever done with us. And then it was a good book. It just didn't grab people. I thought that it would have been a lot more popular than it was. We just couldn't justify putting another book out with the low sales that it funded and everything, and it made its money back, but that's pretty much it. and we didn't want to risk running a second book. There's there's the books there's always a little fall off from people buying previous books and stuff like that, and we didn't want to risk it, 'cause that would really suck to spend 4,000, because we do all our books first before we kickstart them. We make all the books, we get everything ready, and then we run the Kickstarter. So we put the money up front to do these books before we run the Kickstarters. So that's what works for us.
Cool. All right. So I'll do the solo. I'll put you on solo, and we can do the words of wisdom, if that's okay, Max.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, take it away.
Words of wisdom. Let me tell you, when you're making comic books, you cannot be afraid to do what you want to do. There's going to be so many people out there that tell you, don't do this, don't do that. This will never work. You can't do this because of X or X. You can't do this because of Y. But you really just have to go ahead and grab that shit by the horn and just ride it. Just make sure you get exactly what you want to do. Don't let anyone tell you what you can and can't do. You are the person that makes the decisions for your life and your product, and put out the best product that you possibly can, no matter how brave you have to be in order to do it.
Excellent. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. The links for everything with Atrocity Press is actually in the chat. We'll also, when we put this out, it'll be on the videos themselves. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you, Max, for hanging out and giving up your time.
It was a good time.
Yeah, you'll find Max most of the time on Niobe Comics YouTube page with the panels and with the guests there. So check that out as well.
I'm the co-host.
Yeah.
So I'm usually there.
All right. So thank you, guys. Go get down. I'll see you next time. Be well, be safe, and yeah, catch you up next week or the week after.